There's a lot of discussion right now about the phrase Hashem needs us, specifically the word need. As such, many people are going to their rabbis and asking about it. And a lot of people are getting the answer that the word need is controversial. And they're recommended to use the word want or desire instead. And a lot of people are fine with this. And they want to know why people like Rabbi Friedman, as well as myself, insist on using the word need when it is not needed. Haha. Many seem to feel that we're just trying to be provocative or something. And I hope you don't think that about me. There are good reasons, and it won't take long to explain why. Firstly, the word need is fine. It's absolutely fine. In case you happen to think that there's no source for it, that's been debunked by now. Even I made a whole 45-minute video of just sources. It's a rock-solid idea in Torah thought. And it's a very lofty and beautiful idea, even considered a secret until recently. You can see more in that video if you like. So the issue is not the word need at all. The issue is, and this is what the rabbis will tell you, the fear of being misunderstood. The fear is that somebody might hear that phrase and think that it means that Hashem's very survival depends on us as a compulsion or an absolute need, chas v'shalom, like a physical need. This would be incorrect and heretical. Therefore, the reason to not use the word need is due to fear and fear alone. I'm not going to get into taste or style, but fear is the main, so let's say, halachic or rabbinic reason to not use the word fear, to not use the word need, as many people have been advised by their rabbis. Now, before I debunk that fear, let me point out something else. There is a genuine misunderstanding in the world right now. It is real. It is affecting millions, perhaps billions of people. And this is the misunderstanding that Hashem does not need us. As I said, the word need is not incorrect. It just has a risk of being misunderstood. Otherwise, it is Torah emet that Hashem needs us. And yet, millions or possibly billions of people right now don't know this. And in fact, they assume the exact opposite, which is a serious misunderstanding. So let me ask you this. Rationally speaking, what's more important? A potential misunderstanding or a huge real one? Look, we've gone too far, way too far, in worrying about the potential fear of somebody misunderstanding, that we've overlooked the opposite misunderstanding. In fact, we've cultivated it as if we've gone from one extreme to another. That's why I'm not afraid, and I refuse to be, and so should you. Rabbi Friedman and all other rabbis and other fine people teaching the truth of this idea are not afraid either. So don't be afraid. Who is seriously going to think that Hashem is compelled or his very survival is in jeopardy if we tell them that Hashem needs us? Would even a child make this mistake? Okay, all right. Some people are not deep thinkers, and worse. I admit that. So let's assume that I'm making a fallacy here. Let's assume that some people will misunderstand it. How bad is that really? I have 3 reasons to think it's not something that you should be scared about, okay? One is my previous argument, which still stands. What's worse, a potential misunderstanding or a real huge actual one? Secondly, one has to weigh the seriousness of the misunderstandings and compare them to each other. Which is worse? Thinking that he needs us and his survival depends on us? Or thinking that he doesn't need us at all? Which is worse? Because they're both incorrect. Which is worse? Thirdly, one has to ask, really, how bad is it to have the misunderstanding that Hashem's survival depends on us? For these people who make that mistake, I mean, are they going to start a new religion? Are they going to go and start eating pork? And surely this is the main bit. They're not going to be able to get very far with this misunderstanding. Someone will eventually tell them, right? Even atheists know how silly the idea is. The main issue here really is that misunderstanding Hashem is a grave concern. Very, very serious in any way. A huge sin. However, I have proven that that argument, when used against saying need in this theological context, has very serious issues and in fact could very easily be flipped and used as a reason to say need even more. That's a misconception too, and as I said, very real and very serious and a huge sin against Hashem, who does need us, and he needs us to know that. It's also very sad for humanity. We're getting sick, mamash sick, from thinking that he doesn't need us. We're emulating him, not needing each other. I'm not even going to get into that. That's going to be a second video at some point, okay? This is part 1, just explaining why we say the word need. So I encourage everyone, don't be afraid. It's already sad to hide the truth because of fear, don't you think? That we should deny the truth because we're scared? Don't we hate that? But it's even worse when the truth itself has become more than hidden, but distorted. This has unfortunately happened, and it doesn't matter why. It's just happened. Now, there's no objective reason to not push back against it. And in fact, it's a whole new exciting world of Torah for all of us to rediscover, and to know the idea properly will heal us. It is a beautiful secret of the Torah that has been revealed to us now by our greatest tzaddikim, who have given us permission to teach it to everyone. They told us to do so with a proper explanation, which we will do, of course, but that's the only precaution that we need to be worried about. Make sure you explain it right. And that's what we are doing. If you want to see how it's done, just go to one of Rabbi Manis Friedman's lectures, because he's the grandmaster of explaining this idea without a doubt. And I will say that it takes a while for the concept to make sense, so it's important to engage with it as a long-term project. And I can't stress that enough. But getting the basics of the explanation, especially to satisfy the aforementioned fears, shouldn't take long, and is indeed a very noble thing to do right now. The world needs to know, and heaven has allowed it to be revealed, despite the dangers, because of how important it is. As the Ramak, Rav Moshe Cordovero, one of the teachers of the Arizal, said in his book, Or Nirav, if someone makes a mistake like this when trying to understand Hashem, it is indeed grave, but we should not, and we are not allowed to use that as a reason to not try. We are obligated to get to know him, and he will forgive us and erase it once we get through the misunderstandings. And he assures us, and that's it. That's all you need to know. You're free. Go and teach the idea. Go and learn it. Go and integrate it into your life. Hashem will bless those who seek him, and they will come to know him. Don't be afraid. In fact, why shouldn't it be exciting? A whole new level of depth to your relationship with Hashem is available for the taking. The Torah can carry us to a place beyond all words anyway, where even want and need are not enough. Hatzlacha Rabbah. Hashem needs you. He really does. Shkoyach.